India actually may indirectly benefit when a lot of sentiment about the American dream is come down a bit, and B, good candidates will stay back in India and probably do better. Deconstruct the economics of it. I think overall the impact on IT services companies will be maybe 50 basis points. Number of GCCs in India is on the rise. So this could in fact influence more GCC work to flow into India. Given the current geopolitical turmoil that we are seeing, this has added to the negative sentiment. That's 0.5% in terms of margin.
Hi Ram, lot of news floating around on the impact of H1B visa fees. So is is it a case of making a mountain out of a molehill, or is it something that is really going to impact Indian economy and particularly Indian IT stocks? What's your view on that?
My view is that it's not exactly a mountain out of a molehill or a storm in a teacup. Um, there is definitely a significant downward pressure on IT industry. They've become pretty large. I'm talking about IT services in general. B, the whole AI revolution, etc., is definitely cast a long shadow. While there is a temporary Y2K kind of a movement in terms of fixing legacy systems and modernizing them and enabling them for AI, there is definitely pressure on, and we are seeing that already in terms of the kind of jobs that are getting hired and fresher intake and all of that. In Given the current geopolitical turmoil that we are seeing, this has added to the negative sentiment. But if you see, in the US, jobs is definitely a political issue, and the fact that US unemployment numbers get published very regularly and people monitor them, and Trump has come to power on a plank of curbing migration and creating jobs and all of that. So this is a sensitive and visible topic. Now, in terms of actual overall count, etc., it may not be that big, but still it's very visible. People think that these high-paid workers are coming and choosing, taking away their jobs. So the 100k fee per visa will definitely be welcome in the core vote bank of uh, the US president. In fact, many people are demanding, why is it one time? Why is it not yearly? Why is it not retrospective on people who are already here? Okay. But if you deconstruct the economics of it, I think overall the impact on IT services companies will be maybe 50 basis points. That's 0.5% in terms of margins. And
Just dissect the numbers. I mean, uh, the on-site offshore model, what percentage of uh, the employees are actually working on site? What are their margins? What are the options for US companies? What are the options for Indian companies? How do you see this situation panning out?
well, I don't think this is a bolt out of the blue for Indian companies. After 9/11, there was a similar act that came in. After During COVID, also there was a lot of calls for protectionism. So Indian companies, and having worked in the IT space for many years, they are um, they know how to counter this. It's not like it's a sudden Yorker that has come at the wicket. They kind of know how to bat this. So the whole move about localizing jobs, if you see Infosys, for example, right, significant part of the dependence on H1B visas has come down over time. Um, and local hiring has been of great interest, of not just Infosys has many campuses now in US. Cognizant again has many similar efforts, a lot of collaborations with universities. HCL has significant numbers. I mean, we can talk about specific numbers, but the general theme is that Indian companies are already playing that role. So the impact on margins I already mentioned. But yeah, mid-tier companies probably which have slightly higher dependency on H1B visas, which are not that big, they may have some issues to resolve. And smaller companies will definitely have an issue. And anyway, smaller companies, it's very difficult for them to play the IT services game. They can't scale. They don't have the brand, and those are anyway existential issues for them on a daily basis. Um, in terms of US India trade, etc., it's commonly known, right, that the number of GCCs in India is on the rise. So this could in fact influence more GCC work to flow into India. And unfortunately, the poor voters of Trump may realize that instead of generating a job in US, the job is actually moved across. So it may not achieve the intended effect, but it has the optics, and uh, and if you look at the other users of the visa, if you dissect the numbers, right, people say 70% of these visas are taken up by Indians, but look at which US companies are consuming them, the Amazons and the Microsofts and the Googles. They are picking up high value candidates with these H1Bs, and for them 100k is not a big deal. If you're getting a great AI engineer who's just passed out of a Indian university or a US university, and you're anyway paying them 300k, 400k, 100k is not a big deal.
Or it's a one time thing.
It's a
So
one
spread
time thing.
over 3 years or 6 years.
It's nothing. It's literally nothing. And
Just about 10%.
absolutely. So you're paying 30, 40k, which is nothing, and that kind of a wage compression is something acceptable to even the candidate. For them, they want to go there and work in the latest and greatest technologies. Uh, but yeah, there will be pockets. Like I said, mid-sized companies will be impacted. Some of the Indian students in not so great colleges or otherwise, freshers will definitely see some uncertainty and heat.
Okay. You mentioned that this could actually potentially lead to more jobs coming offshore with GCCs going up and probably more hiring in India. Would US policy then train its guns on the GCC model itself? Would steps be taken to see that jobs don't go out of America? Would offshoring be discouraged? Do you
Now,
see?
good point. Good points. As we speak, Piyush Goyal, our minister, is in US to discuss, these matters. And definitely H1B, they will make it out as a, you did this, it's a big impact on us. Knowing full well, actual impact, actually, US is probably getting more value. India actually may indirectly benefit when, a lot of A, sentiment about the American dream is come down a bit, and B, good candidates will stay back in India and probably do better. I mean, Zoho is a great organization that is completely built in India, um, and the Indian Ashwini Vaishnav has made a statement on that.
So it can
So
actually help stop the brain drain.
yeah, so if you look at the overall ongoing trade dynamics and the tariff related discussions that are going on, these are pretty tough negotiations happening. India has refused to open the floodgates for agriculture, dairy, and US wants to dump its corn and soya here. We are not taking them. We don't have demand for that as such. So yes, it is possible that US may say, hey, if you're moving a GCC job here, I'm going to tax you. Now, at some point, India will also take a tough stance. There is news that India has cancelled aircraft orders, 290 of them from Boeing. That could be a tactic to put pressure back on US. Uh, as of now, there is no hindrance to the way the digital behemoths operate in India. We're talking about the biggies, right? Amazon, Google, Microsoft. What if India says, I'm going to impose a digital tax on them? So this thing could go on until an equilibrium is reached in terms of trade negotiations. But I kind of agree that the whole H1B 100k thing is probably not reversible at this stage. It's kind of it's going to be there. But again, they also kind of diluted it by saying, "Oh, it's a one-time thing. Oh, it is not retrospective, etc." So in the short term, I feel there is some impact, which the IT companies will anyway make it up over time. As it is, I mean, our house view is that IT sector is best avoided, especially the larger ones right now. So this is one more small headwind that they're facing. It will not, decimate them, but and they have ways to work around it, etc. So I personally don't think that this is going to be that big a deal. However, the environment is making it a little bit more visible, and anyway, H1B visa is anyway a sensitive topic in India. It impacts many households, right? So bigger picture, bigger companies, they will shrug, they will figure out a way to move on. We are too large a country to be hit by something, one arrow like this. It may pinch us a bit, but it won't take us down.
Yeah. So on that note, I think not much to worry about. But as always keep a watch.
As an investor, stay diversified. Don't bet on one sector. As it is, we've been consistent about IT sector for some time. There are so many exciting sectors in India which may actually benefit when any of these things happen, right?
And on that note, happy investing as always.
As always.